Hey guys, welcome, welcome. Just waiting for some people to arrive and then we'll get started. Hey guys, thanks for being patient. Still waiting for OP Games to arrive here and then we'll get started. Okay, it looks like we might have a problem with OP Games attending. I'm just trying to find out what's going on here, guys. I'll be back in a second. Thanks for being patient. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Yeah.
Who have we got there? Is that Rick?
This is Chase. How are you?
Chase, hey
What
Chase,
do we
how's it
got
going?
here?
This is Tim, Commonwealth.
Oh, Tim. Hi.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. It's pretty good morning at this point. 8 a.m. Starting the day right. Coffee. Everything that needs to keep you up the
Very,
entire day. So yeah.
very good, very good. Thanks for joining us so early on your end. I'm just looking here. It's been a very, very busy week for Commonwealth. We had the public sale, and it's actually still ongoing. And I'm wondering if maybe people have the message for this um, for this session has maybe gotten squashed or sandwiched in between some other messages. So I don't know. Maybe if you feel like it's better use of time to schedule the AMA for maybe next week or the week after. I don't know. I mean, there's still a good bunch of people here, but I don't know. I'll leave it up to you, Chase. You let me know.
Yeah. Either way is fine with me, Tim. Actually. Originally, I believe it was like the week after this, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's the 31st of May was the original schedule. But either way, like if we have people here, we could just briefly chat, or if we can reschedule as well, that's completely fine as well.
Why don't we do this? We'll do a mixture of both. We'll do like a super high level
Yeah,
one. You can just kind of give us like the big updates, and then we'll just keep it really short and snappy, and then let everyone get back to their
that
day.
that's true. That's true. I think that would be good. As far as like, um, updates on the OP game side of things, and then maybe what we can do is the week after next or next week is to have a little bit more details in terms of like what we're doing with Commonwealth, that level of participation in terms of like how people can actually get in touch with you guys as well. So we can probably just talk about high level OP games at the moment.
Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds great. Okay, well then, just for the benefit of those who are here, I'll do a quick intro. So I'm Tim. I'm part of the founding team at Commonwealth, and I'm also part of the team that works on a daily basis together with everyone in the community to bring Commonwealth to life. And it's a pleasure to be here as always. And we've got OP Games here. OP Games, you will know from the free fund, which is now the priceless fund. We've renamed it, yes, because it's much more than just a free fund now. It's actually something very, very valuable that people own. And the way they got to own it was by gamifying, or actually, earning through online participation, online tasks, and on-chain tasks as well, and getting points, XP, climbing a leaderboard, and then if you were successful, you were actually airdropped one of the free fund, now the priceless fund slices, which is an NFT, of course, into your wallet. What that means is as the fund matures over time and the assets are like in the market and there's liquidity coming from the fund, that comes to the people holding the NFTs. So the NFT holders will get passive rewards in stable coins over time for holding the slices. And OP Games, of course, one of the hotly anticipated projects in the cycle, and was part of the free fund. And yeah, we're touching base with you today just to get an update on, how's it been going, and how do you feel about, the project right now, and do you have any
Yeah.
key updates for the listeners?
Sure. Yeah, sure. First off, I like the renaming from free fund to priceless, because it is indeed priceless. Love that. Second, in terms of like updates with OP Games, there's quite a lot of things happening. Just because we're also gearing up towards a lot of releases in the next couple of months, right? The market is slightly better, and at the same time, obviously, the combination of the stuff that we've been working on in the past is slowly trickling in this year, which is fantastic. Obviously, Arcadia is still the flagship platform for OP Games in terms of players playing in the game. I believe that some of the quests that we've done with Commonwealth previously as well is directed towards Arcadia as a platform. Quite recently, we've launched a developer guild, specifically for Web2 indie game developers to transition over to Web3. So what we've done is we've brought over at least about 3,600 game developers building on OP Games. What's going to happen here is that they're going to be part of the OP Games developer guild called OP Guild. We've onboarded one indie game developer to head that specific guild. He does have a community of about 8,000 game developers thoroughly participating in his game jams. So what happens here is that there's a weekly, kind of like once a year thing, where they convene, they create jams together, they create games together, and all those games gets funneled back over into Arcadia. So there's plenty more games to be played once the guild sort of like comes into fruition. Right now, we're starting to announce partnerships as far as like infrastructure, because we do know for a fact that one of the biggest challenges for indie game devs to get into Web3 is the fact that they're not only the developer, they're also the marketer, they're also the business developer. They're basically everything. And the next thing that they probably would have a hard time doing is R&D, and that includes like Web3 tech, right? And so having this infrastructure partners makes it easier for these game developers to fully understand, layer ones, layer twos, questing platforms, all the stuff that would require them to actually succeed and thrive in Web3. So that's one of the key updates right now for OP Games. Obviously, we've released a product as well called Spark. I'm not sure if anybody's aware of that, but Spark is on beta right now. So what it essentially does is it turns any assets into ERC-6551, which is a new token standard that we've been working on with a couple of groups of companies. I guess think of it this way. Right now we have NFTs, and eventually we want to transform them into what we call NPCs, or network playable characters. And these NPCs are more than just NFTs, right? They are someone, I mean someone, but an NFT you can talk to perhaps, or create lore via AI functionality. But at the same time, these NFTs are able to accumulate assets underneath it. Like it could be an ERC-721 token. It could be any kind of NFT, or it could be an ERC-20 token. So let's say you play in a platform, you gain badges, you gain tokens. That all gets accumulated under that specific NFT. And that's what we're saying. It's an NPC. It's a supercharged NFT in general, as opposed to just your good old NFT that we normally have at the moment. Which I think at some point we can work together as well on the Commonwealth side of things, to get you guys working on ERC 6551 eventually.
Definitely, man. That sounds super cool. I like the sound of that. Definitely. I suppose I missed to point out exactly what OP Games was to the listeners. If there's somebody here who maybe doesn't know what OP Games is, I mean, I know that it's an infrastructure
Yeah.
for gaming, and it's supposed to be something easy for indie style game developers to be able to develop Web3 gaming functionality and cross chain. But maybe you're the better person to
Yeah.
describe that, just so I don't hash it up.
No worries, no worries. All right. Well, I guess like we can think of OP Games as kind of like the parent company, right? OP Games has three key products at the moment, right? I did mention Arcadia, which is a platform for players to discover, to find games, and to play games in general, right? It's also a platform for developers so that they can upload their games without our permission even, right? So it's a permissionless platform. Most of the game jams, most of the game developers, indies, we just have to sign up as a creator on the platform, and once they are approved, they can upload any of their games in the platform, and you as a listener and as an audience can discover these games. Look for a game developer that you support, and play their games as much as you can. That's kind of like a big portion of like what OP Games is doing right now. Um, on top of Arcadia, obviously there's a couple of tooling solutions around it. You can create tournaments around games with crypto as a buy-in, crypto as a payout. Eventually, there's like a PvP component to it. There's a PvE component to it as well. Different types of formats to choose from, and then the next one that I mentioned was Spark, which I believe I've kind of explained a little while ago, which essentially is a platform for anybody to spark their NFTs so that it turns into an NPC, or a network playable character. We do think that this is kind of like the new wave, or the new iteration of what NFTs should look like, because right now, like a lot of NFTs are, especially those that are gaming NFTs related, they're all embedded in your wallet, right? Like they just stay there, that you just hold it, you just collect it, right? And so we want to encourage everybody to sort of like move that NFT into a game and actually play it, right? And one of the things that we're doing right now on the Spark side of things is with our NFT collection called Arcadia. Um, Instead of logging in Arcadia, the platform, with your wallet, you can actually log in with NFTs. And these NFTs can accumulate badges, can accumulate points, can accumulate prizes based on like you winning a tournament. And then you can do the same thing with your other NFTs that are supercharged, if that makes sense. So instead of just one singular login with the wallet, you can literally choose and pick which ones of these NFTs you want to supercharge via playing in Arcadia. So that's going to be cool. And the last bit that I've announced on OP Games in general is the guild, the developer guild, and this is basically our take in providing level of opportunities specifically for independent game developers. Because if you see the gaming landscape right now within Web3, a big chunk of developers that are joining are huge big studios, but there really isn't any grassroots movement around it. Just because a big chunk of game developers outside of Web3 are actually like solo or duo or like a small studio, and that's what we want to support. And that's kind of like what OP Guild is all about. So right now we've brought in about 3,600 developers. Most of them are not yet familiar with Web3, and so there's going to be an education component. There's going to be a community component around it, and obviously an investment component around it as well, to make sure that they stay in the industry. Because I think a lot of times people would tend to like, okay, um, one of the primary goals of a game is to retain players, but I think that retaining developers within the Web3 space is also an overlooked matter. And I think we kind of have to like address that as well. And that's going to happen to the guild itself. So
Gotcha.
that's pretty much OP Games in a nutshell.
Yeah, got you. And so sounds like you guys are going pretty strong. Is there any kind of outlook on, when you guys will sort of participate in token launches and this type of activity, or is that still too early?
Correct. Not too early, actually. We're preparing for a couple of things right now, and I think everybody has to watch out for that at some point the next couple of weeks. Token launch is over the horizon as well, and so which means that it's only a matter of time before you see us listing in a couple of exchanges. But right now, I think what everybody should anticipate for would be our play to airdrop campaign. Typically, most companies do name their campaigns, and we're going to be coming up with a really cool name about that. But these will drop fairly soon, and that would allow anybody here as well to participate quests and sort of like participate in creating a little bit more value around the OP Games ecosystem. In exchange, obviously, at some point, once we do our token sale, or token drop in the next couple of months, everybody would qualify for an airdrop. So that's kind of like what's over the horizon right now. Don't quote me on this, but unofficially, it's likely going to drop somewhere mid-June, and it's the questing period would essentially last for about 6 to 7 weeks, I believe.
Okay, awesome. Well, listen, that's a great update. I think in the short form, like we wanted to do. Is there anything else you want to just pass
Yeah.
on to the people that are listening right now, or we're happy to also like schedule another one, maybe
Yeah,
closer to those other milestones that you talked about. Really happy to do
that would
that.
be great.
Yeah.
That's
But yeah, go ahead.
I guess one of the things that I'm trying to do right now is to invite more people to play some games in Arcadia. I think what we can do, Tim, while we're at it, is to probably hold like a weekly Commonwealth tournament, specifically happening in Arcadia. It could be open to everybody, or it could be also just close to specific Commonwealth listeners and subscribers in general. We can format it two ways, or the Commonwealth community, so that you guys can compete with some of the prizes out there. We'll throw in a couple of prizes on a weekly basis. So if you go to arcadia.fun, I'll make sure that within the weekend we'll have a Commonwealth uh, tournament for one of our games up on a weekly basis, with revolving prizes, and hopefully a lot of you all would join and win those prizes.
That sounds cool, man. Yeah, let's do it. Can you ping over some details, and
Yeah,
then we can
I
sort of
will.
we can shape that up. That sounds cool. Awesome then.
Yeah.
Listen, yeah,
I mean, it's
go
a,
ahead,
it's
go
it's
ahead.
it's a self-service creation. So I mean, like everybody can just create their own tournaments within the platform too. But I'll make one for myself, and then Arcadia will make an official Commonwealth tournament weekly, so that everybody within the community can participate and win.
Okay, that'll be epic. Yes, indeed. That'll be really cool. Thank you very much, Chase. Great. I think in the interest of just like what I mentioned before, we'll keep this one super short, and we'll let you get on with your
Yeah.
morning, and then we'll just follow up those couple of things you and I mentioned, and pretty soon we'll get back on an AMA together with OP Games, and I think leading up to the
Thank you, Tim.
token launch, it's going to be super exciting for all street community to get behind you guys as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful day.
You have a great day too. And thanks everyone for tuning in. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Cheerio. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.